This right here is the SkyTab point of sale system. It's one of the best POS systems for restaurants, and it's only $29.99 a month. There's other POS systems out there like Clover and Toast where you have to pay thousands of dollars up front. However, with SkyTab, there's no upfront hardware fee. And it comes with a 30-day trial. When you first boot up your SkyTab point of sale system, you can log in two different ways. You can either punch in your PIN number or you can actually use a swipe card. Now, every single employee will have a different PIN code and every employee can have a different swipe card. If an employee ever loses their card or you have to fire them, you can deactivate this card right here and change their PIN so they can't log into the system. So when you first log in, instead of us typing in the PIN number, we're gonna go ahead and swipe that card. So because this is the first time we're logging into the system for the day, it's gonna ask to connect us to a cash drawer. So we're gonna choose cash drawer number 1, and then we're gonna say there's nothing in the cash drawer, or if you wanna put some change in the cash drawer, you can do that as well. All right, so here at the top, we have a few different tabs. We have the host tab, order tab, customer tab, and manager tab. Most of your employees are gonna live either on the order tab or on the host tab. So for example, say somebody comes into our business, we want to assign them to table number 2. So we're gonna go ahead, click on table number 2. We're going to create a ticket, and then we're gonna open that ticket, and that just assigns a customer to a table. Right now, that is if you have a dine-in restaurant. However, we can always change it so that way instead of them dining in, they can either go to the bar, pick up, delivery, or place an online order. Okay, now that we assign them to a table, say they want appetizers and they want bone-in wings. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna select bone-in wings. Now what makes this different than everything else on the menu is we have all of these different modifiers. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna sell them either a 6-piece, 12-piece, or 18-piece. And you can only select one of these sizes. It doesn't allow you to combine different sizes, so that way your employees don't get confused and accidentally order the wrong thing and send it to the kitchen. So now what we can do is, because they want 6 wings, they also have 2 flavors of wings. So they can either choose, say buffalo and barbecue. And then we're gonna go ahead and choose our wing dip. They can select up to 2 of these. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do blue cheese and ranch. And then we're gonna go ahead and select carrots and celery. And then if they want extra sauce, we can go ahead and select buffalo and honey mustard, for example. And then they want it crispy. Okay, so now we're just gonna zoom into our order here. They got 6 pieces, buffalo and barbecue. They got blue cheese and ranch, carrots and celery, buffalo, honey mustard, and crispy. But as you can see, because they got the extra sauce of buffalo and honey mustard, it actually charged them an extra 50 cents a piece. Because these are extras, we want to charge our customer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here and we're going to take payment right there. So all we have to do is go ahead and hit take payment. And then it's going to give our customer the option right here on the screen. And it's actually going to ask our customer if they want to pay with cash or with card. If our customer pays with cash, the cash price is $13.78. If our customer pays with a card, the card price is $14.33. And the reason why we do it these 2 ways is because if our customer pays with a card, our customer is paying the credit card processing fees for you, so that way you don't have to pay it at the end of the month. Previously how businesses do it is they only give their customer one price, but then at the end of the month, if they're doing $30,000 per month in sales, they have to pay the processing company back $900 or $1,000 a month, right? But this way, your customer is paying for every single credit card transaction, so that way you guys as the business owner don't have that big expense at the end of the month. Okay, so this is the side that your employees are gonna see, but what does your customer actually see? If we turn our POS system around, this is what the customer actually sees on their side. Okay, so on the customer-facing display side, it tells them both balances, right? It'll say the cash price and the card price. So that way your customer is well informed on, hey, if I pay with cash, I get a discount, or if I pay with the card, that's just the regular price. All right, so say our customer wants to pay with their card. On the employee-facing side, we're gonna hit card, and then this side is gonna prompt asking if our customer wants to tip. Now, this is an optional screen. We don't have to include this because, I know these days not a lot of people like to see the screen and they get mad when they want you to tip. So we can skip this screen if it's something that you don't want to include. So all we have to do in this example is we'll say custom tip, and say we want to give, our server $2, right? So we're going to go ahead and hit submit. And then now all we have to do is either tap to pay right here, we can dip the chip, or we can go ahead and swipe. We can do any of the three. And for tap to pay, we can also tap with an iPhone or an Android or a Google phone. We just tap it right there. It's an NFC payment. Okay, that's probably the simplest way to charge our customer. But what if we actually wanted to split that check into two, right? What if, a couple came in and they actually wanted to split between two people, two cards? What we can do is we can go here and we can split by two. Say 3 people came in, we can go ahead and split it 3 ways. Okay, but what about online orders like Uber Eats or DoorDash or QR code ordering? Well, I'll show you right here. This is a QR code, right? And it shows that it's from table 8. So our customer is going to go ahead, they're going to sit down at their table, scan our QR code. It's going to say table 8. We're going to go ahead to the website, and it's going to pull up our website. It's going to pull up all the different items that we have in our website. As of right now, we only activated these 2 different things. What we're going to do is we're going to click on bone-in wings, and we're going to choose let's say the 18 piece, right? And then we're going to go barbecue and buffalo. We can only select 2, or we can change it, on the back end. Then we go ahead, click on save. We're going to want blue cheese and say jalapeno ranch. And we're just going to do celery and no extra sauce, but we're going to do it extra crispy, right? And special request, we'll say we have a peanut allergy. All right, so now we're going to add that to the order. We're going to go ahead and check out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to input our info. So we're going to put Chad. Last name is optional. We're going to put in our phone number and then also our email address as well. And this is good because you can collect your customers' info, so that way you can market to them, send them promotions, and give them discounts. So our customer does have the option here, and we can change this if we want to. If they want to pay on receipt, so basically pay in person, or if they want to pay with their credit card. What we're going to do is we're going to select on receipt, and then we're just going to go ahead and place that order. And again, this is optional. You could collect payment before somebody submits an order. So what we're going to do is our customer is going to place that order. They're going to get a confirmation code. Okay, so our customer, they're just going to wait for their food at that point. So now on the point of sale system, what we're going to do is we're going to log in. We're going to log in here, and we're actually going to go to online orders. And as you can see right here, we have 2 online orders. One of the orders I didn't fulfill the other day. But as you can see, this one on the right-hand side, it was created today at about 4:23 p.m. That's pretty much now. So the order just came in under the online orders. We're going to go ahead and select it. That's our order right there. The first thing that pops up, it says peanut allergy. So your cooks in the back know that if there's any sort of special request, that's the first thing that'll pop up. It also says 18 piece barbecue, buffalo, blue cheese, jalapeno ranch, celery, extra crispy. And then right down here, it says table 8, right? Our customer didn't have to type and say they were sitting at table 8 because they scanned this one QR code. This QR code is unique, and embedded in this code says it's table 8. Same thing with table 7, table 6, table 5. They're all different QR codes because they're designed specifically for that table. So it communicates with the point of sale system to say, hey, if they scan this QR code, it's connected with that table. So as soon as this order is submitted for table 8, what's also going to happen is that order is going to get sent either to a kitchen display or a kitchen printer. What I have here is a kitchen display. And what you can do is you can pretty much see every single order that comes in and all of the modifiers. But if you wanted to, you can also change the display of how it actually shows up on the kitchen display if you wanted to shrink it or make it bigger. And then you can also use it as a bump station if you have another kitchen display or another station that you have to send that order to. All right, now there is another way our customer can pay, and that's with this device right here. And what this device is it's a mobile point of sale system. So it's basically just a mini version of this. However, there's also a credit card reader attached to this. And this is how our customer can pay. So right here on our mobile device, before our employee even logs in, there's 2 orders there. So our employees can see, every single employee can see what online orders have come through. So now what we can do is if we zoom out here we're just going to go ahead and log in. Again, we can put our PIN number or we could just swipe. All right, so here under the online orders tab, we can pull up that exact order and then go ahead and take our payment from our customer. We basically just bring this device to their table and then you can go ahead and swipe their card right here. Now this device is an additional cost. The additional cost is an extra $30 per month. So pretty much everything can be done from the point of sale system itself. However, there is a back end, pretty much like a back office that you can log into. You can change all of your menu items, all of your pricing, your modifiers, right? You don't physically have to be in the business to make some of these changes. Okay, so this is going to be your back end dashboard. Now in this dashboard, you're going to be able to see things like reporting, order new hardware, gift cards, build your website, all that good stuff, even manage your team. So for the first tab, you can actually go ahead and choose location. If you have multiple locations, you can see the breakdown by revenue per location. The next thing we can get into is the reporting side. So if you go ahead and click on reports, there's a bunch of different reports that you can pull. So if you have to do Z reports or see what your best selling items are or profit for the day, stuff like that, there's a whole list of different reports. Most of these reports you're probably not going to use, but it's better to have them here. And then if you need it in the future, you can always access it. All right, in this next tab, it's going to be for all of your transactions. So every single day, because this is a demo unit, I don't have credit card transactions on here. But every single day, you're going to have a whole list of different transactions that pop up. And that's going to have the date, transaction ID, how much the amount was, how much the tip was, what's the customer's name and email. So that way, if there's ever a dispute in the future, you can always just access that exact transaction right here and say, hey, this customer, they were a customer at my business because they bought X, Y, and Z. So you can go ahead and prove yourself if, a situation like that ever comes up. Here in the SkyTab setting, you can go ahead and go to the menu and you can change your items, your different departments, modifiers, force modifiers, all that stuff. You can go ahead and change pricing as well as, those actual items as well. And then here in your payment types, you can go to tenders and you can actually check off every single different type of payment that you accept. For example, for cash, you can always require customer on tickets. You can always require their name. If there's a certain type of employee that can only accept that particular type of payment, you can go ahead and add them here. So for example, typically cash would be fine. But for example, say you took checks, right? And you only took checks for big parties, right? If you wanted to go over here to jobs, what you can do is you can scroll down and say only the manager can accept checks. All right, and then you can go ahead and also require the customer on ticket, and then you can go ahead and save that. Another thing we can look at too is discounts. So for example, if we had a discount for, the first 100 customers that came to our business, and it applies to tickets and items, and we give them, say 10% off the first, 100 people that come into our business. We can set up a discount like that. We can also set if it's just a regular weekly special. So for example, happy hour, we can go ahead and set a date range or a time range. So for example, say our happy hour is from 3 to 5 p.m. every single day, except for the weekend. So Monday to Friday, happy hour is 3 to 5. And then if you wanted to do, a percentage for 10% off, or if you wanted, $5 off, whatever discount you want to do. If it's a recurring discount, you can do it right here. Another thing that SkyTab has is a loyalty program. So for example, we have a program going on right now. If our customer gets 1,000 points, they get $1 off, right? And we can choose what item gets what points, right? So for example, a burger gets 100 points per burger, or 3 tacos is 90 points, something like that. We can go ahead and assign points per item. So under here, we can go and look at our taxes. So we can do regular state tax, or we can even do an alcohol tax. And then same thing with surcharging, especially for online orders. If you wanted to add, specific surcharge just for online orders, you can do so. So for example, we wanted to add 3% for online orders. We can go ahead and do that. And we can also apply that surcharge to either the order type or to the menu item. And then here under revenue classes, we can go ahead and assign different kind of like departments. So for example, we can track specifically beer sales, beverage sales, food sales, liquor sales, non-sales revenue, all that stuff, and we can separate everything so that way we know where our revenue is going. And then here under gratuities, if we go ahead and add a new class, we just put default, and then it's going to be, let's say 20%. We'll put non-sales revenue, and this automatically applies if we have over 6 guests. So if we have 5 guests, this doesn't apply. If we have 6 guests, tip is already included. All right, here under our workforce, what we can do is we can actually manage all of our different employees. So for example, we can go ahead and add an employee. We can give them a screen name, first name, last name, give them their PIN number, email. We can save all of their information here. We can even put if they have a liquor card and when that expires. Same thing with health, right? So say, for example, their card is going to expire tomorrow. We're actually going to get a notification that says, hey, this employee, their liquor card is going to expire, and you have to make sure it's renewed, or they're not going to be able to sell liquor legally. We can also track their labor, their record breaks, how much they're paid for hourly, as well as assign them permissions. So for example, we want to give this person everything except for giving discounts. We can go ahead and do that. So they can access all of these different things except for discounts. We can do that. All right, and then under here, we have all of the different jobs. So for example, we have back of the house, bartender, busser, cashier, and we do this because every single type of job has different permission settings, right? So under these settings, the back of the house does not have that many settings, right? But if you go and look at somebody like a manager, the manager has a lot more settings. Same thing with the owner. The owner is going to have a lot more settings, and they're going to be able to change things and do things on that back end that the back of the house typically doesn't have access to. All right, and then if we go to tip sharing, we can go ahead and add a rule. So for example, from a server to a busser, right? And they're going to get, say, 5% or 10%, 25%, whatever you want to assign them. And then you can even calculate that either based on total sales, net sales, gross sales, or total tips. So that way everybody on your team is getting assigned tips. All right, and then when you go to labor settings, you can assign that pay period. So Sunday is the start of the week. Everybody is paid weekly. Breaks are never paid. Or you can say they're optional or always paid. You can set the minimum wage. So we'll say minimum wage is $10. Manage overtime, and then auto clock out. So as soon as somebody logs out of the POS system, they're going to automatically clock out. All right, and then now we're going to go ahead and go to the time card. Okay, so here in the time card, it's actually going to track all of the different shifts that our employee has. So for example, the owner, right, on this day, 13 hours and 53 minutes. Right, it's going to track all of the different hours. So, I mean, typically, if you're running a full restaurant, this page is going to be very, very long. What you can do is you can actually go over here and you can either approve it or deny it. So all of these we'll just go ahead and approve because that's the owner, for example, me, and I know that these are correct. But for example, if it's one of your other employees, you want to just make sure that everything is correct, and you can even adjust the time when they clocked in and clocked out. And you can go ahead and assign cash tips right here on this screen as well. You can also manage your employees from this screen. You can give time off, and you can even schedule your employees. So for example, bartender number 1, we want to go ahead and we want to schedule them from, we'll say 3:30 p.m. all the way up until close. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to create their shift. Okay, and say our bartender has the same schedule for the whole week. What we can do is we can just take this, we can hit control, and we can just copy that over. So for example, they work the same hours every single day for the whole week. And then we even say, okay, we'll give them Sunday off, right? So Monday to Saturday, same exact hours. They work 51 hours. So that way we can actually track and how much we have to pay our employee. Now we can just go ahead and hit publish. And then we'll say bartender number 1, we'll go ahead and put in their phone number. And it's going to send your employee an update with their exact schedule. Now this app, your employees can also request time off. They can show when they're available, when they're not available, and they can even request to pick up new shifts that are available that either you posted yourself or that other employees said they couldn't work that particular shift. So it allows your employees to schedule themselves, and then all you would have to do is either approve it on the back end or deny it. Okay, so another thing that SkyTab provides is an actual online website. So this website is where your customers, they can go and they can actually order food and make reservations directly here on your website. So you can go ahead and, make all your edits, add your pictures, change up the text. And this is included in your $30 a month package, right? It comes with a POS and it comes with the online website. So there is no extra charge for it. So if you wanted to go ahead and you wanted to preview that, they can go ahead and they can actually reserve a table if you take reservations, or they can actually go ahead and order directly on your website. And that can either be takeout or it can also be delivery. All right, and SkyTab also does gift cards as well. So if you need gift cards, you can either do e-gift cards or physical gift cards. So all you would have to do is go ahead and click on get started. You can accept both. And then all you would have to do is just go ahead and give yourself a URL. And pretty much how you would set up your website is through a template that they give you. All you have to do is, go ahead and edit some of these things, edit your shop name, logo, if you wanted to change the gift card image. And then your customers, you send them this link, and all they would have to do is just order the gift card right here directly from this website. Here, you can actually go ahead and manage all of the different devices that you have from SkyTab. So for example, with mine, I have 2 SkyTab POS devices. One is for the main point of sale system. The other one is for the customer facing display. And then you can also do the mobile or the glass or kitchen display. You can manage all of that from here. There is also a marketplace for SkyTab. So if you had to connect any third-party apps, for example, ubereats or mailchimp to do email marketing, davo for sales tax, a lot of these big name software companies, you can integrate that with SkyTab, and it's available through this marketplace. All you would have to do is just go here. If you see something that you like, go ahead and view the details, and then go ahead and install that right there on your point of sale system. After it's installed, your POS is going to update. It's going to ask you to sign in. You sign in and everything is connected. If you need additional hardware from SkyTab, what you can do is you can go over here under orders and then under hardware, and you can see all of the different things that they provide. For example, that glass, that mobile device, that's an additional $30 per month. The SkyTab POS bundle, additional $30 a month. If you need more employee cards, $10 a month. SkyTab Mobile, this is also 4G, so you can take this, on a food truck or offsite in a parking lot. That's $20 a month. Customer facing display, $30 a month. The printer, kitchen printer, that would be $10 a month. And then again, if you need a kitchen display, just let me know and I can get you hooked up with one. So if you guys want SkyTab POS for your business, just click on that link down in the description. It's going to take you over to my website. I can give you more information about it. I can send you the application on how to get SkyTab, and then as well as get you that 30-day trial period. So, you can try out SkyTab for 30 days. If you don't like it, all you have to do is box it up and then send it back. And then after that period, pay the $30, $60, or whatever package that you choose. And then you can keep using SkyTab POS. So, see you guys over there. Peace.